You're such an asshole.
Asshole Consultant, how you doing? Hi Aaron, I have a new video request for you. Please provide a quote for a video response. A few of my friends who work for the largest software companies in the world report that in an attempt to show that these companies don't discriminate against women, they go overboard and pretty much promote only women to avoid any chances of being accused of discriminating against women. My questions are, do you see this pendulum going too far to protect women's rights swing back a bit towards a place more reasonable and balanced? If so, what will it take? And if not, at which point do you think people in general and men specifically will say enough is enough? All right, do I see the pendulum swinging back? No, not in corporate America, not in government, because at least I would say in our lifetimes. I don't think it's going to happen. And the reason I say that is we have to go to the source of where we got this idea that we should lie, we should not be honest with each other, and we should have this victim mentality and rah-rah women and, oh, you're always oppressed, you're always, it's not that you major in stupidity, oh, you're always oppressed. We got to go and look where this propaganda and these lies start, and they start in kindergarten. They start in the public schools. So kids today who are 5, it's going to be at least 20 years before they get into the real world working. So we have 20 years, at which point that will put me at 64 years of age. I don't see Republicans or your local teacher, parent-teachers organizations ever getting in and say, hey, knock it off with this men suck bullshit and women are constantly oppressed. I mean, it's been happening since I was in grade school. Since I remember very clearly at about 7 or 8, the teachers, who were all female, were on this high-end holdover from the 60s and 70s feminism, telling us, reminding us every day, girls are good, like, yeah, lady, fuck off. We know already. We don't care. Fine, yes. So I don't think, since it's been established for at least 40 years, and today it certainly is turned up to 11, I don't see it changing in another 10 years. You and I know you were about the same age, maybe you're a little bit younger than me, but I don't see it changing in our lifetime, because in 10 years' time, I almost guarantee you, they're still going to be teaching girls how oppressed they are, and they can do anything a man can do, and all this, the propaganda will still be there. The Republicans or conservatives are simply not leftists. You know, parents are not going to get involved in their children's education. Fathers are still going to be pussies. Fathers are still going to be cucks. And whether they're present or not, nuclear family or not, they're not going to go and teach their kids how the real world works and, you know, how labor market, it's not going to happen. Not in our lifetimes. So the established world, the established part of Western civilization, not just the United, but Western countries, is still going to be what it is today. When these kids today who are 5, 20 years from now when they're 25, they're still going to be told women are oppressed. They're still going to be given affirmative action. They're still going to be brainwashed into thinking they're victims. They're still going to love their careers and their degrees and student loan debts more than they're going to love their fellow man and husbands and children. I don't see that changing. So in terms of institutional pendulum swinging back, it's not going to be there. There's going to be a future Sheryl Sandberg that's even more Sheryl Sandberg-y, if you can imagine that. And women will be propagandized to not only flood the market in corporate America and leadership positions and government positions or all that, they're going to believe in an even more severe and viral form of this careerism, forsaking love for careerism, forsaking family for careerism and education and all that. And then also the political motivations will say. The victimhood politics will still. Blacks are always going to be oppressed. Women will always be oppressed. Latinos will always be oppressed. We'll coincidentally keep ignoring Ashkenazi Jews and Jews in general and Asians about how they do better, and they don't seem to be. But it's the victimhood politics is going to be there, because on the atomic, individual, cellular level of each individual human in the United States, they will be indoctrinated from kindergarten to college. And you put shit in. Well, no, you put high quality stuff in, but you put shit ingredients in, you're going to get shit out. And so that is going to be there, ensconced, entrenched, cemented, institutionalized into our institutions. There is, however, going to be a swing back not in the institutions themselves, but outside of the institutions. And this is where I think you're going to see how men in the future are going to diverge. Now, the internet's very helpful for this, because we have channels like this and other channels where you at least can get an alternative theory out there. And I think as younger men, more and more younger men go online, the red pill is growing. Beforehand, only 2% of the population maybe knew about it. Now, I'd say a full 10% of the male population knows. I'd say 20% of the young men know. And that's going to continue to grow. And young men are going to be led and shepherded, mentored by guys like us, older guys who say, hey, this is what's happening, look out for this. And they're going to do one of two things. The main thing, and this is already happening. You can see this pendulum swing back in action right now today with college attendance. The conservative right, because they're too busy asking their wives to let their penis out of their purse, the wife's purse. They always say, there's a crisis with boys. They're not going to college as much. 2/3 of people attending college are women. We need to get boys back into college. No, that's progress. That is the pendulum swinging back. That is boys saying, fuck this shit. I ain't doing this. This isn't worth it. And the consequences for not participating in these corrupt and inefficient institutions, and certainly the not meritocratic institutions, is men are going to come out better financially, I'd even say educationally, career-wise, financially, and mentally as well. Boys are not attending college as much as women, in part because I think a lot of boys today are lazy and they're pampered. But a lot of them are looking at, this isn't worth it. I'm going to go into the trades. I'm going to go into the military. I'm just going to stay at home and work. I'll live with my parents to save money. I got scores of clients now, young men. I didn't go to college and I work. Now I got an assistant mechanicship position or whatever. I'm sitting on 50 grand. I live at home and I save money. I'm a loser. It's like, dude, you ain't a loser. You're kicking ass. The average 20-year-old's $50,000 in debt, still lives at home with the parents and ain't got no skills and hates freedom. So that is an example of one of the main institutions where there's a pendulum swinging back and costing schools this money. Of course, women now have overflooded the market and they're getting worthless degrees. But that's what's going to happen. Men are going to go other places. They're going to found other industries and fields and populate different venues, create probably entirely new institutions, and go to where the money is. So when it comes to corporate America, because you're talking about the largest software companies, the Fortune 500, we could call this in general, what men are going to do, and they're increasingly doing it, is they're going to go one of two ways. They're going to go entrepreneurial route, and maybe not Steve Jobs, Bill Gates type of entrepreneurs, big-time entrepreneurs, but they're going to contract. They're going to start their own company. They're going to become hired guns. And you say, oh my God, that's not bad. No, that's great, dude. Because just like college sucks, corporate America sucks. Working corporate America fucking sucks. Again, the biggest scam ever. I think me and DT were talking about this the other day. The biggest scam I had to think about was how we convinced women that working, commuting, going into debt, going to school, going to college, and slaving away was preferable than to just staying the fuck at home and raising your goddamn kids and being a loving parent. I mean, that's the biggest scam ever. And they pay to go into debt for that. Corporate America fucking sucks. It sucks. It's not fair. It's certainly not meritocratic. It's definitely not meritocratic if you happen to be the wrong skin color, you happen to be a guy. Any self-respecting, talented man or woman who wishes to be paid what they're worth will not go into corporate America. It's just like college. People were sold this propaganda that college is great, college experience, college, and only the dupes and morons really are going to it anymore. And women got duped into going to college. I say women more duped than men. There are men who are duped into going to college, but women major in the world's dumb as shit. They are truly getting screwed over. They're truly victims in that regard. And it's the same thing with corporate America. Corporate America is no longer meritocratic, and it's not fair. There's no reason you should be fucking working in corporate America. The truly talented, hardworking, successful, the true future financial career, professionally speaking, is for those who are going to be self-employed. And you don't have to be a billionaire Mark Zuckerberg. You could be just, again, I got scores of clients. I'm a programmer. I live in Thailand. I do contract work and mail it in, and my rent is $600 a month. And I get a palatial estate down here in Phuket. I have whores that suck my dick regularly. The food is great. I pay a nickel per day to have my clothes washed by the local cleaning lady. What do I do with the $400,000 I got sitting in my bank account? That's the future. That's where the pendulum comes back. It's not, you can't look at it through the world of propaganda where they say, you see the girlfriend, you think Sheryl Sandberg is winning? You think she's happy? Dude, the guy sitting on his ass on a beach in Phuket, down in Thailand, making his $250,000 a year, just going and getting drunk at the bars every once in a while, having himself some whores, going and swimming in the surf, having a grand old time. The world travelers, we got the guy in Austria who's a pro. Those guys are having a better life. Those guys are the winners. And when we propagate and propagandize and hold up to women, someone like Sheryl Sandberg, great, you got $1 billion. Great, you're a billionairess. Congratulations, great, you got a great career. That bitch has to go to work every fucking day. She's got to deal with politics. She's got to sit in with movies. But she thinks going into an office, who cares if they're serving caviar? She's got a nice car. She is Facebook's slave. She has to go there. She puts in 60 to 80 hours a week. Are you kidding me? Hope to God she doesn't have a Steve Jobs happen to her. She dies of pancreatic cancer in 10 years. So that is where the pendulum is swinging back, where these institutions that have now become corrupted are no longer meritocratic. You no longer want them. These are bad things. These are cancer. College is cancer. Corporate America is cancer. Work sucks. And so men are going to go one way. They're going to go entrepreneurial route, the self-employed hired gun route. And the internet allows people to do that, not just men but women too. But you can be your own, you can telecommute, you can work from home, you can be minimalist, you can enjoy life, so I think it's going to be that route. The other route, because not all guys can be entrepreneurs, you know what's going to happen? The other route is guys are going to be the stay-at-home dad. If society is going to give such a huge advantage to women to be wage slaves, to get them plugged into the matrix, where we're going to give you affirmative action for college, we're going to give you scholarships, we're going to pay you to do this, we're going to pay you that, we're going to even create entire make-work government jobs for you, an entire industry. I don't know, I have to do the numbers, but roughly half the women who work don't work real jobs. They work jobs that were created out of thin air to basically give them a welfare make-work government job program. We're going to create entire industries for these women to go work in. Then we're going to give you preferential hiring treatment. We're going to promote you because vagina, and we're not going to fire you. They then become the money makers. They then become the wage slaves. Let them get what they wish. Yeah, ladies, go get your master's degree. Go to college for, God almighty, go to school for 5 to almost 20 damn years. Go to school for 20 damn years. You incur the debts. You get the student loan debts. Then you go bust your ass off. You go commute. You go get, and master's is a CPE. You need to get continual education. We just got to keep on going. You go work 50 to 60 hours a week. You go work 70, 80 with commute. You go. We'll stay at home with the kids. We'll stay here. And I think that's where a lot of guys are going to go. Now, what's ultimately going to happen is men who want to stay at home and raise the kids, women don't want that. So I don't think there's going to be family formation. So I think you're going to see is what really is happening now. And there's a bifurcation. Is that the word? Somebody tell me with a better vocabulary than me. A split where the men are not going to be the stay-at-home dads, because women are not going to date a neat. Women are not going to marry a guy who lives at home. Women, go, rah, sister, you go, girl power, moxie. You go make your 6 figs. Dude bros are like, dude, 6 figs. But what are girls like? 6 figs. I don't know what girls do with it when they make their 6 figs. You go do that, and then you eliminate all these other guys who would have normally made more money, and and you could have married them there, but they're not going to be interested in that. So what we have today, again, here's where the pendulum really comes swinging back. It's not going to happen in corporate America. These women are going to be spinsters. There is a huge generation of spinsters and unemployed, basement-dwelling neats on the male side who are never going to get together. They're never going to get together. They're not going to have any families. They're not going to have any kids. Again, I'm anti-kid. I don't want no kids. But for the average person, for most people, that's the most important thing in life. And so the neets will become an effective welfare class. These boys will become an effective welfare class. Some will get married and be the stay-at-home dad. Some will work. They'll work the regular jobs, but they're not going to be like a careerist because you can't be. Now I'm going to you suck because you have a penis. I'm promoting Tina from HR to head of, she's the new chief technology officer, even though she's never done any technology, but she has a vagina, and that's diversity! Those women will become wage slaves. They will become careerists. Good for them. The men will become either a stay-at-home class, which, oh, you brought me food? You did all the work. I just did dishes and cleaned the house, and I played with the kids. Had to discipline one, spank the other, but we all went and played baseball. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I changed some diapers. Yeah, well, that was 2 years ago. Now the kid's running around taking a shit on his own. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh, how were the spreadsheets? Was diversity sensitivity class fun for 3.5 hours listening to the bitch from the university with her degree in diversity and inclusion? Was that fun? Oh, we just watched Captain Kangaroo. We just watched the Andy Griffith show. Nah, it's all right. They're learning lessons from Andy Griffith. So, that's assuming they're married. And then the others will be your Sex in the City, 40-year-old spinsters, why can't I find a man? And the other guys just be playing, those guys, their counter, their opposite number, will be the loser neets, the unemployed boys living at home who are fat, and they will suffer their own demons. But that's where the pendulum will swing back. That's it. You think the battleground is in saving corporate American the institutions. I'm arguing the institutions are cancerous for all of society, but especially those who go into them. All right? You don't want to fight for, those are hills that are no longer worth fighting for. Arguably, they never were worth fighting for. What you want to fight for is individuality, freedom, free time, and love, and family if you want to have a family, or your friends, or your hobbies. The pendulum is not only going to be swung back, we're going to attach a rail gun to it and shoot it back, because you're ultimately turning them all into a Sheryl Sandberg, where they're going to waste their life working. And never being happy and having what they genetically want it's beauty. You gotta sit back and watch the show, man. Watch the show. Watch what this is the one benefit you get for being right, is watching everybody else be wrong and then fucking up their lives with their own hand, and then being miserable. And then just what's even better than that is they don't know why. You don't know why. Which is even more painful than the pain of going through the confusion. And you just sit there, think maybe you ought to go and maybe be thin, maybe, make a guy a meal every once in a while. Fuck you, goddamn fucking sexist. Okay, never mind, have fun with your MBA. No, I'm just sitting here in Phuket, smoking a cigar, and I'm banging this 23-year-old girl here. Yeah, it's great. You're dirty inside. Yeah, I guess it's just horrible. Just horrible. I mean, look right now, I'm going to go hike. And then go shoot some guns. Oh, darn! I didn't get the corporate executive position over at Goldman Sachs. Oh, shit! Oh, too bad. Anyway, so if so, what will it take? And if not, what point do you think people in general, and men will specifically, say enough is enough? I don't think, as long as that brainwashing is there, no one's going to say enough is enough. Truly independent-minded people, such as myself, will say enough is enough. But the indoctrination is so thorough for both young boys and young girls, all the way up to young men and young women. No one's going to have, society's not going to wake up and figure this out. We need a completely external what's the word I'm looking for? Threat? Not threat's not the right. We need an external, the introduction of an external variable, a war, a crippling recession, the loss of the world's reserve currency status, plague, asteroid, something that would completely reset society, because it's just not going to happen. The kids will continue to be brainwashed. Women will continue to think that their careers and educations is more important than their husbands or their children or love, humans. And man, you got to tip it to the left. You got to tip your hat to the left. You guys did an outstanding job of fooling women into thinking that they'd make great men and that they should be wage slaves. And that it's so thorough, so good, so complete brainwashing. They got women to think work is great. It's you're not going to unless society is upheaved somehow. That is probably the most entrenched institution, education in our society, and the left will never give it up. They will never give it up because they need those votes and they need those women slaving away, forking over a lot of money, going into debt. They're the number one moneymaker. Women now hold 2/3 of the student loans. You think big education is going to give up that? No. So there's too much money, too much invested, too much infrastructure, political leftist infrastructure invested in this. I think you and I can safely say we're going to die before anybody wakes up to this. But man, that pendulum is going back fast the other direction, but not in ways you think or wish it would. Corporate America will become less and less efficient, more and more corrupt, less and less profitable. We can even see that in economic growth now, where economic growth is going down, but that's for more than just that reason. You will see just like the universities, you will see a general decay in the quality of their products and the quality of the institutions themselves as we hire people not based on the content of the character, but the color of their skin or the plumbing downstairs, which Martin Luther King was going to say, but they cut out, hey, Martin, don't say plumbing downstairs. That's crass. You're a little bit more classy than they say. Oh, all right. True story. I know my history better than everyone else. So that's it. You guys got questions, go to get your answers over at assholeconsulting.com. Check out all the really cool links below to podcasts, books, blogs. If you have any shopping to do right now, there's an Amazon affiliate link right now. If you like this video, subscribe and like, but then do all your shopping down below on that Amazon affiliate program. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.